Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mike's Rusty Finds. Today we got the master cylinder off this 1956 F500. Yeah, and it's pretty crusty. And I bought a rebuild kit, but I decided to go with a new one. So we're going to tool on over to Mason's house and see if we can't bench bleed this thing, and we'll be back. Well, Mason's not home, and we're going to find a different way to bench bleed this thing. I don't think we need a vise. So much for following instructions. I'll loosen this up. Pour a little bit of this stuff in here. Just like that. And we're going to put you in there like that. And then we're going to pump it until we have no more air bubbles. And I think we're there. Give it a few more pumps just to make sure, because living up a canyon, you really don't want brakes to go out. Okay. That's it for our bench bleeding. Okay. Unfortunately, we snapped off the sending unit in this thing, so we're gonna have to go find an easy out somewhere and order another sending unit. Okay, so maybe get a gander at what I'm dealing with here. This is where the master bolts to. Somewhere back here there's a wire brush. Put you out of the way of the dirt. Sure. Puh! Oh. All right. That's as good as I'm going to get it. Get me a bolt here. Sure, this is fun. Okay. Stay. Well, you ever need 3 hands? There we go. All right. So, somewhere up here. Come on now. Somewhere there's a bolt. A nut that goes on that other bolt. Oh, sure. Well, okay. Found it. This fine thread bolt goes in a real convenient spot back up in here. Okay. Let's get other tools. Never find the right tools until you find out you're laying on them. Thank God this one was threaded, otherwise it would have to try to find a wrench to go all the way in that channel. Okay, you're not going anywhere. Oh. Oil pan's a convenient place to rest your head while you bolt stuff down. True story. You just gotta get you up in here. Oh. Wonder what my cousin Debbie's doing today. Probably having fun. I bet she's not underneath a car. Okay. You're as tight as it's gonna get. Okay. There's one of these brake lines that came off completely, and I gotta kind of mock all this stuff up to figure out where it all goes. So you guys, we'll loosen you up a little bit. Yeah. This cute little guy here. Oh, I put the block on backwards. That's no good. Oh, brake fluid everywhere. Oh. Alright. Hold on while I turn this thing around. Okay, this is why I left everything a little loose, so that I can mock up where all these lines go before I tighten this thing down to the master. So I've got a couple of big lines in there, so it's pretty much lined up. So I'm going to come back with all the lines are hooked up because I want to keep this PG, and there just might be some language involved in this. So I will see you in a second. Well, I've got leaking fittings under there, but I got some pressure. You all let me know if they're at least working. Well, that went downhill quickly. Apparently, I got a line in here crooked, and it didn't seal, because that's what you want to do. I thought I had them all started before I tightened the manifold down, and that guy right there was crooked. It's loose now, so. And you really want to cross thread a manifold like this, that you can't get another one. So I'm going to have to either take it off and chase the threads, or try to remake a line and get it in there straight so that it seals. I had brakes for a second, and I got ahead of myself, and I got in a rush, and that's what happens. So, like always, don't be Mike. I have another fitting, and this is what happened, is I wound up on an angle like this. So I'm going to try to get this fitting to go in here straight and possibly chase the threads, because otherwise I just don't know what else to do. I'm thinking what I really need to do is, first of all, take this line off. Got a clamp there on the frame down there, and remake the line anyway, because I kind of goobered up the nut taking it off, and I just got in a hurry. I got no other excuse. I thought I had loosened this manifold up and actually had it dangling free. I thought I had all the lines started in here. See, everything else looks dry except for down here. So that's why people pay someone else to do their brakes, but I got nobody in my backyard. Okay, we got the brake line, the offending brake line off, and I really should have remade this anyway, because I really mess this up trying to get it apart. So I guess we're going to be making a brake line. And it looks like I'm going to have to pull that whole assembly back apart, because I really need to look at that thread in that manifold straight on, so that I can maybe chase the thread or fix it. We're going to clean up this old brake line a little bit, so that I have a nice clean line to use as a pattern. Not really necessary, but it is kind of rusty, some spots, like surface rust. But really, it's not the right thing to do, using it like that. Hopefully we get a new line with it all loose and everything like that. I can get it started in that manifold. All we can do is give it a try. I still think I'm going to wind up having to tear that manifold back off. Which is a lot of work, but probably the right way to do it. So every time I try to cut corners, this is what happens. I mean, they make it look easy on videos. That's the magic of editing, I guess. Okay, that's about as clean as I'm going to get it. Now let's see if I can make a line, something I've never done before. We bought this cheap eBay flaring tool to try to make some of these brake lines, and I tried it once before, and this thing leaves marks on the tubing where you can't hardly get the fitting over the end. And I'm thinking that I just went cheap on the wrong thing. I watched the videos on how to do it, and like I said before, I don't know what I'm doing, so we're just kind of playing it by ear. See, I can't even get the thing to stay in one piece. The problem seems to be it's leaving marks on the tube where even when I deburr it, it's hard for this fitting to get over the end. You have to clamp it down so hard that it damages the tubing. There's another kind of flare tool that I'm going to look into, or I'm going to take it to somebody with my old line here and try to get them to fit it in. Like I said before, I'm having problems with the manifold, and I don't know whether I damaged it or not. So I'm hoping if I get a new line that I can get it in there straight and we'll be okay. You know, that's all I can do is try. Of course, I don't have a vise to put this thing in, so that doesn't help. The directions I saw on the internet said to put the tubing in here and to use the die as a guide on how deep to put it. The problem I'm having is it's pushing the tube into the flare tool. So I just dropped the die. See, I've got it kind of snug right there. I don't have a fitting on here right now. And we're supposed to put this die in here like that. Let me back this thing off a little bit. And that's what we have there. I'm going to give these two a little snug. See, I got the copper tubing, so I just don't want to damage the tubing where there's my first flare. And let's take this off and see what I got. See, not only did it not flare it like it's supposed to, but I got all these marks on the side of the tube, and that's going to keep the fitting from sliding easily over the end. And if I clamp it real tight, then it marks are even deeper, and I got to try to file them off. So I think I'm gonna maybe opt for the other style tool, or find somebody that will remake this for me. This is the manifold that I'm worried about, that I cross-threaded. I can't really get another one. So if this one doesn't come back to life, we're going to have to MacGyver a bunch of stuff together to try to get a distribution block for this thing. So I'm going to try to see if I can't get another line made and see if we can't like ease it in there straight and catch some threads. And if I can't, my next step is going to be to pull this whole thing back apart and gently run a tap through there and see if I can't straighten those threads out at least enough to get this thing tightened down. So that's where I'm at with this now. The lines on top I got, but this is just the one I boogered up. Let's take a trip over here, and we're gonna see if we have any juice left in the master cylinder after all of my leaks. And spilling stuff on the ground, down my neck and on the shirt. Well, still has some fluid left in it. So hopefully I don't have any air in the master cylinder. It would be a real bear to try to bench bleed with that manifold on it. We're gonna just keep pressing forward here and see what kind of trouble we can get into. I'm getting there. I mean, I got the wheel cylinders on the truck okay, and got the master cylinder changed. Got a little problem with that line, and we'll be getting another one, or getting one fabricated, or fabricating it ourselves. And yeah, sure. That's why I kind of wanted to get this line off in one piece so we could use it as a pattern, or somebody can use it as a pattern. It may not be me. I just may need to find somebody with the skills I do not have to make this for me. Or get another kit. Yeah. Because I got 25 feet of line. So that's that. Well, upon doing some research, there's another kind of brake line crimping tool that uses little blocks and won't damage the tubing. So I was looking at Eastwood Company has something that I'm going to look into getting, or maybe I'll go to Harbor Freight and make another mistake and get cheap stuff. Okay, but I'm definitely going to try to get away from this style of crimping tool, because that where this lines are located, you really need to be able to spin them free to get them to thread into that block on the master cylinder. So that's where I'm at with that. Before all the fluid leaked out, it did sort of stop the tires, so at least my wheel cylinders are working. So little by little, as soon as we get this the front brakes sorted, we're going to be jacking this thing up and pulling the rear wheels and see if I can't source the rear wheel cylinders. From what I've read online, there's a Mopar part that should be able to replace my wheel cylinders in the rear. So we'll see what happens when we get there. Like I said, it's an old vehicle, and I'm learning as I go, and it's fighting me. So I just take a break now and then and get away from it and dive back into it. And we'll get it eventually, and someday we'll be down to wiring and doing all that other fun stuff. So that's the plan for now. You know, I'm just going to slowly keep on moving forward, because that's, what other choice do I have? If you like what you're seeing here, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm having a heck of a time here. The Vice Grip Garage makes it look so easy. You know? I even bought the shirt. Okay? Didn't win the car, but I got the shirt. So it should count for something. So we're going to keep pressing forward. And if you like the videos, please like, share, and subscribe. Comment. Laugh at me. Sure. Anything helps. And I will see you in the next one.